grading system is shared both here and the website. We're looking at, in terms of the candidates' grasp, comprehensive, good, fairly good, moderate, and all the way down to very limited. But we do know for Csec only grades 1 to 3 are reported as acceptable grades. So I begin looking at the overall acceptable. Unlike Cape, where we had the all-time high for the last 3 years, we had an increase over 2022, but not as much as it was in 2021. Still good, because we're at 74.36%. We're looking at biology first. Subject. So for biology, we are seeing a 74%, a repeat of 2021, less than 2022. And the ones are at 19%, something that we have to look at. It's similar to what we were seeing for other sciences. The schools can do a deeper check on that. But for the Caribbean history, this is a plus for us because last year was not so good. And it is something that has been a core interest to CXC. In fact, we had a task force that was created to specifically look at what was happening with history. So this is really heartening to see that 72% and a stable and stability at the grade 1s for the Caribbean history at 13%. For chemistry, I would have noted that we're looking at a 66%, not in the 70s. I mean, it has increased, but it's not back up to where we would have wanted to see it. And the ones are less than last year, 15%, moving from 16% from last year. We move to English A. And I'm going to be highlighting the subjects I know the ministries of education normally keep an eye out on, and English A is one of them. We saw an increase from last year from 73%. In fact, it's highest we have had over the last 3 years, from 73% to 78%. And the ones are far more than we would have had in 2021, but 2% more in 2022. So that's good, because the English A, I know, is one of the areas we always focus on. For French, we're seeing 59%. I did tell you that I have to highlight the languages. While we saw that 59% overall acceptable grades, we saw an increase in the number of ones slight from 14 to 15%. Human and social biology, we saw an increase from 67% to 71%, and also an increase on the ones from 12% to 14%. For information technology, very important for this digital age, we are noticing at 86%, an increase from the previous year of 6%, and a 4% increase on the grade 1s. Integrated science, likewise, maybe I would say a bit stability there, 67%, just a slight increase, and as the candidates continue to work on that. Mathematics. You see that big increase on math? You think it needs a standing ovation? No, not yet. But it has improved. So we saw a 6% increase, not what we would have wanted to see. We thought it would have been more, but it has improved. In fact, it was better than 2021 also. And so it is something to note. The ones have increased by 2%. So still a cause for concern, especially the fact that that paper is a standard paper and has been a standard paper from day one. So you literally know, it's just something that we have to look at. But it's a 6% increase. We thought it would have been a bit more. Office administration, 89%, highest over the last 4 years, as well as the ones have it for 21%, the highest we have also seen over the last 4 years. Now, I said similar matter for biology, so we're at 62% for physics, which means that we have to look at those sciences because this has reduced likewise. So it is something that we need to take note of. I think the business subjects did very well this year because we are seeing a 72% overall acceptable grade, for principle of accounts, and likewise for principle of business we saw some stability there. For social studies, we saw 54%. This is a very interesting number here. It is a reduction from previous years, but a little more than 2% from last year, but a reduction. If you look at 2020, you're seeing 70%. That's a big drop. So yes, you're seeing a little 2%, but we need to look at that and see what's happening there. Spanish. So for Spanish, we have 54% of the candidates getting acceptable